So I kind of wanted to do a rundown of these two skis real quick. So obviously we have the Sea Doo. This is a 2005 GTX 4-Tech, just as it's saying right there. We bought this one pretty much brand new. We've had it since 2005, and it hasn't given us any trouble. It's perfect shape. So it is technically a 3-seater. This is the cruiser model. Back when they not first started the GTX series, but this is still one of the beginner models of the GTX. Obviously it's 2016, they're still making them now, so this is older. The only thing is, it doesn't have a whole lot of options. It's just pretty much your throttle, and you can set your different modes, whether you want it to be like economy or so. Standard gauges, and your mirrors. I mean, nothing's like, they're manual, though, you just push them. It does have storage in here. It's got 3 keys. It's got what's called a learner key, and this one only lets you go to a certain RPM, which equals to about 35 miles an hour. And your standard key, which will let it hit about 65. I think, depends on how much weight, but I've hit 65 because I'm a light person. Storage-wise is massive. You could fit a person down in there, and I'll put like my hand for comparison. So yeah. Yeah, I get a little wet. Let's see. It's got the fins for rear stability. So they just basically move with the steering wheel. Pull up ladder. And then it does have your reverse. So this cup goes down, shoots the backwash down and on the side. And there's your impeller housing, all of that in there. And then your rinse system for just plugging up to a hose is up inside there. Let's see. The thing is, this one does have the side fins, so even whenever you're not actually like applying any throttle to it, water will still catch and it'll still make the ski go forward, go straight. A lot of skis, like what they do is when you kill the power, they just start like floating in any random direction. But this guy will continue going straight, or if you turn the wheel, those back fins will direct it to be able to turn. So kind of like a boat, where a boat you don't always have to have throttle for it to go forward or so. But yeah, here is your forward, neutral, reverse, and all that's doing is just changing the direction of that cup in the back. So yeah, here's our GTX 4-Tech 2005 Sea Doo. Pretty awesome. Sea Doo's amazing. I'm a Sea Doo fanboy, even though I use the Honda. I've always loved the Sea Doo. This is my baby. And then over here we have the Honda, the Aquitrax R12X, because that just makes it sound cool with the X. Actually, no, it's because it's the turbo model. And so one thing about Honda, the cool thing is, if you see any Honda that has a black bottom, that automatically means it's a turbo. All of the black bottoms are turbo models, and white are standard. So if it has a black bottom, you can tell from right away, oh, it's a turbo model. It'll also say turbo on it. But yeah, standard 4-stroke. It's basically the same size engine as that. It's just this one has a turbo and that one does not. The turbo is back here. So you pop these two things. Lift the seat a little bit. Hold up. Okay, you got your tool compartment just for general tools. And then this is really hard to do one-handed. There we go. Okay, there's our turbo. Right there. Does about, I think, 8 pounds of pressure. Yeah, so the only difference about this one is it's a whole lot smaller. It is only a 1-seater as compared to the cruiser model Sea Doo. That's a 3-seater. This is a 1-seater. That's not a turbo. This is a turbo. Actually, I think it's 12 pounds of boost. I don't know. I'll look up and actually check. It still has the side fins, but it doesn't actually have the directional fins. So as soon as you cut the power on this thing, like I was talking about, it just starts drifting whichever way. Like there's nothing that keeps it going forward. It does have the rear housing where the impeller comes down. I just can't pull it down from here because the latch is different up there. Same all that inside, still your normal wear ring and your impeller housing, all that kind of stuff. And you can still hook up a hose to run fresh water through it. This is your coolant. This is where all the water comes out. That has the, like, basically your antifreeze in your car, like your coolant system. Well, this one pours out right here. It just circulates the water from the river and pours out right here. This is the main thing that keeps your turbo cool. So if that ever jams up, you're in big trouble. Forward, reverse, and see the cup is down. Now the thing I like about this one is it has these side holes that vent the water on the side, not just straight down. So it really actually helps in going backwards quicker. It does have that small compartment, and then it's got the compartment in here, which is actually pulled out. It's over there. Not nearly as big though. It's a little guy. And there's a fire extinguisher in there. So the way this is designed though, it's got a narrow hole as compared to the Sea Doo. So this thing will like jump out of the water on even the smallest waves, where that thing just pretty much plows through them, and you can get massive air on this guy. As compared to that one, it just kind of like plows through. This guy will jump on even the smallest wave. And if you notice, the back curves in and gets real narrow and then cuts straight up, where the other one on the Sea Doo goes all the way back and then cuts. So that one's more stable. This one is not. This thing's a sport model though, and that's not. So if you want to do tricks or anything, you come and do it on these. So furthermore, this model actually does have trim. So you can actually adjust the trim, pull in this lever, and you can lock it by, oh, this is hard to do with one hand. Okay, pull it back, push that up. There you go, now it's locked. So the trim is actually gonna just rotate this guy to where it's angled down just a little bit. You can kind of see how the nozzle's a little bit angled down, and then when you adjust the trim, now it's angled up a little bit more. It doesn't do by a whole bunch, but it does make quite a bit of a difference when you're going at slower speeds. So yeah, RPMs will max out at about 7,500. It shows 8, but it limits itself just so that there's not too much pressure. And at about 7,500 RPM, you'll hit about 73 miles an hour or so. I think I've topped out at about 73, 74, where the Sea Doo will do about 65. So this one's definitely faster, lighter, sport model, twisting, turning, jumping, all that kind of stuff. This is a multi-person cruiser. I have towed on the back of this though, so it can definitely tow and it'd be fine with that. But this guy, not so much, just more of raw boost power as compared to that one having more torque. So horsepower, torque. That being said, this model still puts out, I think it's 160 horsepower. I'm pretty sure it's that Fortec 4-cylinder engine. This guy puts out about 190 horsepower, I believe. So on a ski, it's pretty darn impressive. Oh, it does require premium fuel though. Anytime you're using a turbo, whether it's on a car or whether it's on a marine engine, always want to put premium. You do not want to lock up that turbo, because that's a whole new turbo unit, and that's going to be really, really expensive. So yeah, there's a full, pretty much in-depth review of these two engines, these two skis. They're both fun. It just depends on what you're kind of looking for. If it's a rough day and you're wanting to jump some waves, go out on that. If you have multiple people, go out on this. But both of them, pretty good. I would say definitely family ski. Well, that one's a family ski. That's like an independent. So yeah, there's your full review of both skis. I hope you enjoyed it. You can definitely subscribe for more if you'd like, and leave a comment if you want to see more information. I just kind of did it was an in-depth overview, but there's a whole lot more detail I could go into if you really want to. So just ask me about it, and I'll make a video about it if you'd like to. So see y'all later.